Hello everyone, my name is Simon Chauhan and I am a senior at Carrollwood Day School. When I was 10 years old, my mom asked me if I wanted to learn how to dance bhangra. I didn't realize it then, but she wasn't offering me an activity. She was offering me a lifeline, a way to keep me connected to my roots. Dance began as a culture, a reminder of home, a way to keep me connected to something larger than myself. But somewhere along that journey, dance stopped being just a culture. It became a doorway into a state of mind that has shaped and molded every single moment of my life, including this moment itself. You're asking what that is. The answer is flow. Let's fast forward a few years to Boston, my first out-of-state competition. A team of high schoolers facing college dancers. The lights were loud, the crowd was louder, but my heart was the loudest of all. Then the music started. I disappeared, and everything went blank. Not empty, but blank. It was a full, quiet, peaceful, serene kind of blankness. I don't remember the steps, the sound, or even the judges. But what I do remember is that moment. It was the first time in my life that the world stopped pulling at me. The first time in my life that my thoughts stopped arguing with each other. The first time in my life that I stopped performing and I started living. That blankness became my peace. A place where the world's noise could finally bow its head. That blankness became my flow. You see, it's funny. On paper, performing feels like the most visible thing a person can do. But when I dance, when I perform, I feel the most invisible I've ever felt. Not erased, not diminished, just freed from the weight of me. There's no ego, no noise, no pressure, just movement arranged around a heartbeat. And in a world that's obsessed with being seen, I found meaning in disappearing. Now, you don't have to be a dancer to understand this, because all of us, every single one of us, is carrying a life that never stops talking. Notifications, deadlines, expectations, it's all noise pretending to be urgency. We have lived our lives so loudly that silence feels foreign. Stillness feels suspicious, and blankness, that feels impossible. You see, we have mistaken simulation for living. And most people will go their entire lives without ever feeling the moment that I once felt in Boston. That suspended, wordless clarity, where everything fades away, yet you truly start to exist. Years later, I found that psychologists have a name for this. They call it flow state. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi called it the optimal human experience, a state where your mind is so aligned with what you're doing that you lose a sense of yourself. Not because you're gone, but because you're finally present. You see, he found that flow only appears when the challenge meets the skill, when the moment demands so much of you that it pulls you into the now without pulling you apart. See, time flies. Noise fades, but awareness narrows down into a single, effortless thread. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi described it scientifically. I found it in the space between two beats. I found it in blankness. So why am I telling you this? Why does this matter? Well, we are living in a moment of history where people are forgetting themselves without even realizing. We multitask our way out of meaning. We scroll our way out of stillness. We live so loudly that we forget to hear the sounds of our own lives. Flow is not about dance. It's about finding a doorway back to yourself, because everyone deserves a place where their mind stops bracing for impact. Everyone deserves a moment where the world fades away, yet you truly start to exist. Everyone deserves blankness, not emptiness, but fullness with noise. Now, before I continue, I want to give you all something closer to the feeling I've been describing. So, I want you all to close your eyes. Now, pick an object within arm's reach: a watch, a sleeve, the edge of your chair. I want you to imagine it's your first time observing this object. Now, pick a detail that you have not yet considered: a color, a texture, even a shadow. Pick just one. Let that one detail now take the rest and all the space in your mind. All right, that moment where everything started to fade away and your mind went quiet, not because you forced it to, but because its attention was held by something real, that is the beginning of flow. You see, the world didn't disappear. Only you did for a brief moment. Now, your doorway won't look like mine. It might be running, cooking, writing, cleaning, teaching, speaking, listening to music. Flow doesn't care what the activity is. It cares that you're alive inside it. It cares that you show up fully enough to let the moment claim you, because when that happens, you stop performing life and you start living it. See, every time I've entered flow, the blankness, the disappearing, I've learned something. Sometimes the most powerful moments of your lives are not the ones where you are the loudest, but the ones where everything inside of you goes silent. See, when the noise stops, truth appears. When the noise stops, you meet the version of yourself that isn't trying so hard to be anything. So maybe the goal is to not always know who you are. Maybe it's to forget yourself often enough to start remembering what truly matters. Because if you can find one place where you enter flow, one activity where time bends, where noise fades, where blankness opens, I promise you, you will live your life differently. See, dance gave me my doorway. Flow gave me my life back. And if there's one thing that I want to leave you all here today with, it's this right here. Sometimes the most powerful versions of yourselves are the ones who forget to be. I'll say that one more time. Sometimes the most powerful versions of yourselves are the ones who forget to be, because the moment you stop trying so hard to be someone is the moment you truly are someone. Find the place where you disappear and meet yourself there. Now, I've been talking a lot and describing what flow feels like, but I think it's time you finally see it.